Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a nice weekend. I'm sorry if I left you in a lurch without posting the video or the key, so I'm going to give you one extra day to get this done and complete the quizzes. A couple of things that have been new in my life is we found a home for the puppy. Somebody in Apple Valley contacted me online, and they came to our house and we met them, and they seemed like a lovely, lovely couple. And they already had a boxer of their own, so she's going to have a fur sibling, that we call it. And so she's getting along really, really well with the fur sibling. She got her shots on Friday, and everything's going really well for her. And then I've also been trying to get a little bit more active, so I worked out with my daughter in the backyard, and now I'm dying and I can't move. So that's what's going on with me. Hopefully everything is good with you. I would love to hear what's going on. So let me do a quick video on the double angle identities review. So I'm just going to do the same problem and find all three things. And so in this case, it says that the cosine of theta is equal to 1/3, and we're going to be between 270 and 360. So that tells me that we're in quadrant number 4. And then it's asking us to find each value. And notice the direction said do not round. So we're going to leave our answer in fraction or radical form. All right. So if we take a look at this, that means our triangle is in the 4th quadrant because we're between 270 and 360. And cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So that means that if actually technically this is theta, but if we look at it with respect to our reference angle, my adjacent would be 1 and my hypotenuse would be 3. So using the Pythagorean theorem, I can say 1 squared plus 3 squared. Sorry, that was incorrect. Good morning, Monday. So 1 squared plus y squared is equal to 3 squared. So a leg squared plus a leg squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared. Then we have 1 plus y squared is equal to 9. So that makes y squared equal to 8. And that means that y is going to be equal to the square root of 8, plus or minus, correct? So in this case, this is going to be negative square root of 8. And let's see, we do know that that is simplifiable. I don't know if that's a word. So 8 has the square root of 4 in it, which is a perfect square. And so we could say y is equal to plus or minus 2 root 2. So this would be negative 2 root 2 as well. So we'll take a look at each problem and determine which one would be a better one to use. So in the case of sine of 2 theta, that's going to be 2 sine theta cosine theta. All right. And so then if we take a look at that, that means coming over here, the sine of theta is going to be the opposite over the hypotenuse. So that's going to be negative 2 root 2 over 3. And then the cosine of theta they gave us in the problem is going to be positive 1/3. So coming over here, this is going to be 2 times, and then it's going to be 2 root 2 over 3. That's my sine of theta. And then times 1/3, which is my cosine of theta. And in this case, nothing cancels, so we're going to multiply straight across. So 2 times 2 root 2 is 4 root 2, and 4 root 2 times 1 stays the same. And then we get 1 times 3 is 3, times 3 is 9. So that would be the sine of 2 theta. So then if we're looking for the cosine of 2 theta, let's do this so that we can still see. So the cosine of 2 theta, we have a couple of options. Actually, we have 3 options. And so the original formula was cosine squared of theta minus sine squared of theta. But then if you notice on your orange paper, there were 2 other options. So one was if we substitute for cosine of theta, we could say that it was 1 minus 2 sine squared of theta. Or if we substitute for sine squared of theta, we get 2 cosine squared of theta minus 1. Okay, so if you notice, sine squared, that's the one that's going to be having a radical in it. So if you were going to use the sine squared, which I'll go ahead and do, we're going to use the negative root 8 instead of the negative 2 root 2 because it's easier to square the square root of 8 than it is to square 2 root 2. So coming in here, I can say cosine of theta is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse, so that's 1/3, and then we're going to square that, minus, and then we get sine is going to be opposite over hypotenuse, so that's going to be root 8 over 3. And because we're going to square it, I'm not really worried about that negative in front of the root 8, because anytime you square a negative, you get a positive. So when we do this, 1 squared is 1, 3 squared is 9, root 8 squared is plain old 8, and 3 squared is 9. And so when we subtract, we get negative 7/9. Now, personally, I probably would have picked this formula here because they gave us the cosine is 1/3, and I wouldn't be dealing with any radicals that I had to square. I just wanted to show you that it was possible to do it. All right, so then the next one we're going to deal with is the tangent of 2 theta. So looking at that graph, do we recognize that the tangent of theta is going to be the opposite, which is negative 2 root 2 over adjacent, which is 1. So we could either say that this is either negative root 8 or negative 2 root 2, and we'll see which one is easier when we look at the formula. So if we look on our orange sheet, the tangent of 2 theta is going to be 2 tangent of theta over 1 minus tangent squared of theta. So looking at this, I might pick the negative 2 root 2 for the numerator, but I'm going to pick the root 8 for the denominator, or the negative root 8, because this one, I would want it to be simplified, and on this one, I want to square it. So we're going to have we're going to have 2 times, and then I've got negative 2 root 2 was one option for the tangent of theta, over, and then I have 1 minus, and then I've got negative root 8 squared. Again, when I'm squaring, I don't have to worry about that negative. So let me just remind you, I could pick either one of these answers for the tangent of theta because they both represent the same value. So in my numerator, I get negative 4 times the square root of 2, and in my denominator, I get 1 minus 8, and so we get negative 4 root 2 over negative 7, which gives me 4 root 2 over 7. Now, we could have predicted that value, because if we take a look at the sine of theta, do you see that that's 4 root 2 over 9? So when we do the tangent of 2 theta, remember we said we could take the numerator of the sine of 2 theta. Ooh, I see a mistake that I did. Hopefully you can come back and fix that with me. Does everybody see that this should be a negative right here? Which means that my sine of 2 theta should actually be negative. And so then my cosine, I think I'm still good because that negative squared gives me a positive. But then down here, do you see that my numerator would be negative 4 root 2, and my denominator would be the numerator of that cosine of 2 theta, which is negative 7. And do you see that that gives me that final answer of 4 root 2 over 7? So, as I've shown you right here, by doing this little double check, that helps you go back and see, did you make a mistake somewhere in your problem? Which I did, so purposefully, right? Purposefully I did that, just so that we can see that that was the correct way to work things. I'm just kidding, I made a mistake. All right, so here are my expectations for today. We're going to finish the double angle review worksheet. Some of you may have been working on that over the weekend, so if you already have that done, then that piece is finished. We're going to complete the quizzes that I just assigned this morning, and so this is going to be due by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Gave you one extra day on that. And then I want you to work on trying to get at least 1 hour of fresh air. I know that sounds really weird for a math teacher to be assigning that, but whether you go to a park and keep your distance, whether you go to the Healthy Trail, I've been going to the Healthy Trail where they have that opening on Foothill and Baker, and there's a lot of width to the Healthy Trail, and so you can be on there and walking and still keep your distance from everybody. or if you have a backyard or a front yard where you can still keep your social distancing, then try and go outside and get like 1 hour of fresh air just to like get out of the house for a little bit. So know that I absolutely miss you dearly. This has been a really, really rough week for me because as a teacher, you want to see your kids. You don't want to just talk to a video. And if you're having trouble accessing the Quiz, then go to joinmyquiz.com, and then you're going to type in the code 338738, and then that'll get you straight to the quiz. So I hope you all are well. I look forward to seeing your work tomorrow, and I will have everything ready to go for tomorrow for you. Thanks.